going to tee up and introduce our featured guest today. And I just want to share a little bit, and Shawn's been here for a little while, and I'll let him tell his own story. But he's had his own challenges and his own setbacks and issues that he's dealt with. But man, talk about fighting through and persevering, and then rebounding and jumping back into the fight. I mean, the last, I don't know, maybe 6 months ish or something like that, give or take. I mean, he's been on a rampage, just him and his team, and Schweizer and Wendy Cox, who are on with us as well today, just lighting it up. I mean, just crushing it. Just great job. And just want to give them a chance to have some spotlight and a little shine and talk about some of the things that they're doing and feature them on the call today. So without further ado, we've got Mr. Shawn Cochran, sir, team leader. What's up, buddy?
Hey guys. So I'm direct to John Paul, of course, which is an amazing thing in being part of this opportunity. When John Paul called me, if he had called me 2 years ago and asked me what he asked me to be on this call today, it would have been an immediate no. Some of you know me, some of you don't. The largest fear that I absolutely, and that's part of it, I had to go back and forth. What direction do I want to go with this as far as talking about team? The growth that I have had, and what John Paul was just saying, the largest fear I have in my life. I'm from Maine. I lived where the black bears were taking out my garbage, and tearing it up. I was afraid of nothing, but petrified to be able to speak in front of people. I'm sweating. My hands are dripping. I was going to make a martini. Brian told me, no, you can't do that because they need to understand what you're saying. So from there, I'm here and I'll probably stumble. I got notes all over the place, but I want to talk a little bit. What's that?
I said, we got you, brother. We'll catch you, man. Fly, brother.
And that's why I'm able to do it, right? Because of this team, because of the team and the growth that we have done. And that is the direction I wanted to go with it because of how we're doing. I'm able to get on here and I'm able to speak because of all of you, because of their family that you've all become, and you've made me stronger. And that's what this is about today and what I want to talk about. And Wendy and Kay, that are going to speak after me, they are better friends than friends I've had my whole life. We're moving in the same direction. We're fighting every day to make our dreams together come true. We want to do it. And this opportunity here gives us an opportunity to dream where people that never had the opportunity to dream, they can dream here because they stopped dreaming because they were making $60,000 a year and that's it. They're not going any further, or 100,000, but that's it. You can go out and start a business. Brian and I have done it and we failed and we've succeeded. But the thing is to be able to go out and do that today, you can't do that in today's society. You're either going to make someone else's dream come true, or you've got to have $250,000 to start a new business and $250,000 to make money for 2 years, because you have to wait 2 years to make any money. You can come in here and start making money immediately. It can happen immediately. So a lot of what we've been talking about, and I'm going to get into my personal life just for a moment to kind of explain the reason for us to be able to move forward and how I've come to where I am here now. But Wendy and Kay and I mean, lately, we talk all the time. Wendy and I are on the phone a couple hours a day right now in talking about how we are going to move us forward. But we talk about, first we need to dream, then we need to act. We have to act. You can believe in whatever your faith is. I have my faith, but you can believe in whatever you want, but God has given us the power to be able to do what we need to do, but we need to act on it. And then the most important part, and the part I want to talk about that I believe in, is mindset. So I'm not going to get into all of what we already know that we need to dial, that we need to be doing these things to move forward. But what I am going to say is that we need to set that expectation. So if we're told that we need to make 300 dials in the course of a week, we need to understand that when we're making those dials, that we're only going to set 15 appointments on average. You need to understand that only half of those are actually going to show up, and only half of those you're going to actually sell. So you're going to make it happen, but you have to be making those dials to be able to make it happen. You need to be working every day to be able to try, what is a different way that I can try to be recruiting? John Paul's given us an amazing opportunity with Career Builder. We have it. I wouldn't have Wendy, I wouldn't have Kay if I hadn't got into Career Builder. But now they're friends and we're building forward right now. But there's other ways of being able to build. And we're going to have Lewis talk a little bit today about how he's gone out and he's kicking it old school and being able to do that. But I want to go back to mindset for a moment. I'm going to go back and talk about a couple different people in my life and how they've gone in different directions in their life, because every single day we all have something good and something bad. And it's the way that we look at it. Are we going to look at the good thing in our day, or are we going to just focus on the bad thing? So I'm going to go back to being young on purpose. When I was 9, we lost my brother. And I'll try not to go where I'm going right now. But we did. And my mom, man, I am strong for who that person became. And I'll call a couple of you out today on purpose. So when we lost him, my mom became part of a group. She found her superpower. Her superpower was helping other people and creating and being part of Parents of Murdered Children. She got involved, and I signed those people in. I was part of the group with her. As a young man, I watched the anguish and the pain of what those people were going through when they were coming through every day. But she worked with them every day, and she helped them, because instead of giving up, she was finding a way to be able to take the pain that had happened to her and move forward. So every day, then we fast forward, and my sister lost her son, my nephew. She gave up on life. She'd be okay with me telling it. She gave up and she didn't move forward anymore. They both had a choice, and the choice was to be strong and pick up and be able to move forward with her life. Brian recently, in June, lost his dad in an accident. He is finding his superpower. He has created an organization now, an organization that is a nonprofit for a scholarship fund that he works on every single day. And instead of, a lack of a better way of me saying it, just having the pity party and what has happened to him, he's finding the thing about what can I take from that and be strong and move forward. He is doing it every day. And I am so, so proud of what he's doing. I'm going to call out Jenny. Jenny, I love you. You and I have had our conversations. You've been through your pain. So many of us, but every single day, and I tell you all of that to be able to say this, that it is difficult. Life is hard sometimes, but this opportunity is not easy. It's hard, but it is worth it on the other side. In this team, I say all of that to say this team, we are able to build, and it makes why I am still here. The last part I'll talk about with my part, I'm going to call somebody else out. I've been sick, and that's what John Paul is talking about. I've had RA. Can't believe our medical system, medications that cost $10,000 a month so that you're not sick. But the point is, get up in the morning, put my feet on the floor, and move forward. But it's Kay. Shawn, I'm going to church. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for you. My God. Wendy calling me and saying, Shawn, how are you today? What's going on? Oh my God. I mean, there's days I wouldn't have been able to move forward, but I'm like, you know what? Kay and Wendy have come in here and they've committed to this opportunity. I'd get off the phone and I would stop and I would cry. but I would say they've committed. I have a responsibility for these two people now. So I have to get out of my own way and I have to move forward. But it's the team, it's this team that continues to make me move forward every single day. I want to call out somebody else because I've had conversations with him and he absolutely inspires me. I remember us having a conversation, and you knew who you are, when I was in Denver, and me talking a little bit about me and what I've gone through, and then talking to you about what you went through. Sal, buddy, I'll tell you, you're a whole lot younger than I am, but you inspire me because you are always pushing forward. You're always involved. You're always here. And I love you, buddy. And there's so many more that I could talk about. But I need to be able to share, have Wendy and have Kay. And Lewis is going to talk to us today. But I'm so proud to be able to be part of this. There's nowhere else. I want to continue. If you're new here, I've looked. When I was 50 years old, I said, where am I going to go? What opportunity do I have to be able to move forward and build the rest of our life and make it so that Brian and I are secure and that I can make sure that our family is okay moving forward. Like I said, you try to start a business. So are you going to make somebody else's dreams come true, or are you going to make your own come true? Because I don't want to go back to traveling an hour and a half each way every single day to work 12 to 13 hours for them to make their dreams come true. You can be a millionaire here. You don't even have to have a formal education to be a millionaire here, but you can be, and you can dream. So it gives you that opportunity again. We have our own built-in therapist here. Lori's been our main therapist that we've had. Our book club and what we have, you can go there and you are, so they don't just give you an opportunity here as a team to be able to build a business, but they also give you an opportunity to better yourself. You can become a better human being every single day here and be able to help each other. Constantly working for the business. Wendy and Kay, all of us, we are constantly now, and it was in April. It was in April when John Paul called me and said, Shawn, you're going to get down to Asheville. Couldn't believe it. We almost didn't go. Brian and I were talking back and forth, struggling at that particular point. We didn't know if we were going to go or not. And I talked to a dear friend, spoke with Jenny. We were having a conversation, and Jenny was going to be going down, and she said, you got to go. You got to go. So I went, and I'll tell you what, that was the shift for me. Being down there and being around all of the people, and then them talking about their struggles and how they have got where they are and where they are now, and being able to be around all of that, I came back, and that's when what John Paul's talking about. That was the shift for me. That was the change. So now I am so blessed, so blessed, and so proud, because I know on time, I want to have Wendy come on, somebody that is a dear, dear friend. We even do the friendships that we've had. We do Christmas. Oh, Poodle. Yes, here, Kay. Yeah, I even have a nickname. I'm Poodle. That she can tell you the story about where we come up with that. But with Wendy, and I try to do this, and that's part of the team. That's part of the family that we have. We did Christmas last year. Savvy and Malachi and Ryan. I mean, we are family. Kay. Now this will be fun. Kay, we're talking about going out there. Brian wants to see all the Christmas lights and wants to go to Kay. Well, Kay won't allow us to come right now because Kay started on the Blitz. Not allowed to right now. You know, we gotta get on the other side of that before we can do the Blitz. You know, before I can go to her house. But that friendship is there. Brian Lorden has just come on, but the friendship is starting. It's he's killing it right now, but he's just starting. But now that friendship, we're building that friendship, and that's what it's about. I find my team so strong because of the friendships that I have with these people that we built, that we talk for hours all the time. And Brian, we're even talking about him coming down from Michigan to stay here at our house to be able to go to the farm, to the festival, because we're building that relationship. And that's what it's about today, is about talking about team. All right, Miss Wendy, tell us the way it is, girlfriend.
Typically, I don't have a hard time talking, but I find myself sweating right now. So I guess that's normal. So if I'm being 100% honest, when I came into this opportunity, I'm not really a team player. I'm a loner by nature. So I thought I could do this on my own. I didn't have to go to meetings. I thought dial rooms were the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. I'm like, who does that? But all of that is stuff you have to do if you're new. But I come from a background of being a loner. I ran track in college. I started running in 5th grade. I was on the high school team in 5th grade. So I was a loner. Those high school girls did not like me because I could beat them, but they did not like me. So I found myself in this situation where I was okay being alone. That just kind of became my thing. Because when you run track, you win on your own, you lose on your own, you do it on your own. So coming into this situation, it was a little bit different for me with this whole team atmosphere. So if you think about the definition of a team, it really is a group of individuals working together to achieve their goals, right? So if you come into an opportunity and you don't think, you're not a team player, but you have to be a team in order to make it work, something had to change, right? I had to change. And it's really hard to look in the mirror and change. But once I started plugging in a little bit, I realized that this is what I wanted to do. I think I can do this, right? I think I could build a business. And my shift for me was conference last year. And I know everybody hears about conference all the time, but if you don't go, you're wasting your time. So when you're there and you're around these people that you meet, you talk to on the phone, you see on Zoom, but you're able to have real conversations, real experiences together, you start to create that relationship. And some people have heard the story, some people have not. And I've made great relationships with a lot of people, and not to discount any of that, but Lori, which will make me cry, it was our last night there, and we were just kind of talking about the business. And she looked at me and she said, I see you. We see you. And you never look at yourself like everybody else looks at you. You never know, you think you can do stuff, but everybody else sees you a little bit different. And here is this lady I hadn't spoke to that much at all, just when I had problems with stuff, and she's probably sent me an email telling me how to do it, and I didn't read the whole thing, and I asked her again how to do it. Said, I see you, and you start building these relationships. And this year at conference, I told her when I make AO, we're going to have to get that tattooed on us, and she agreed to it, but I think she had too much to drink, but we're still going to have to get it done. So hopefully sooner than later. And I say all of that to say that that's what being a team is, right? Is building those relationships and realizing you can do more together than you can do on your own. And that's what this whole opportunity is. They always say you can't get what you want until, I've written it down, but I'm kind of fluttering around, right? When you help enough people get what they want, then you'll get what you want. And when you make a big enough impact, and that impact's going to come back to you. And it's so true. Shawn, I do love you. And through this whole process of me growing and me realizing that I don't have to be alone, that I can be a part of a team, has allowed me to be able to grow my relationships. And it's specifically with Shawn. There's been a few things that Shawn and I have not agreed on. And old Wendy would just walk away. I don't need that relationship anymore. But now I'm able to say, hey, Shawn, I don't want you to get mad at what I'm going to say, but because my relationship matters with you, let's talk this out. And that's growth, right? You know, we all are here where we are with the person that got us here. But if you want to move further, you're going to have to change and you're going to have to grow to be able to handle everything that you want. So the last 6 weeks for me has been a lot of growing and realizing how important being a team is and leaning on people when you need them and knowing that just because you're having a bad day, it's not weakness. It's just you being honest and being able to lean on people to grow. So, you know, I came into this opportunity as a lone wolf, but now I'm a part of a wolf pack and I am growing my own wolf pack. And I absolutely love every last one of them. I do. I have found that mentoring them, becoming a leader, I'm like, me, I'm a leader, you know, like this is crazy. You know, I used to avoid those very uncomfortable conversations. And being able to lead them and watch their small successes, whether it's Michael finally getting on switchboard and someone telling him stop. I'm like, yay, they told you to stop. You sent a message. That's great. You took the first step. I mean, I have had more pleasure in watching that than I have had of any of my successes. And to go back to what Shawn said, I just lost my whole train of thought. But that's okay. But it's the small successes of everybody else that I really do enjoy watching. And, I know what I was going to say. And the fact that they have trusted to come onto my team, and I've said this before, I take that very serious. So on the days where I'm having a bad day, where I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? Is this the wrong path? I mean, when do you have a doctorate degree? What are you doing? My mom's saying, just go back to healthcare. Why are you doing this? Why are you stressing yourself out? Why are you working so hard? I have a team that trusted me to take them on this journey. And I have to remind myself that you started this journey because you wanted more out of life. You started this journey because you really got tired of people telling you what you could and could not do. And you got tired of people saying, oh, you make too much money. We can't give you a raise. So I'm going to get my own raise. I'm going to work when I want to work. And I'm going to bring a whole lot of people with me to do it. So I'm going to close it by saying that I am a sprinter by nature. I do not like to do distance running. And I feel like I've been running a marathon for a year and a half. And sometimes you have to go slow. But if you are on my team, and I know there's people I have invited to join us today just to see what it's all about, this team is about to start moving fast because I'm tired of going slow. And by the end of the year, there are going to be a lot of promotions on this team for a lot of people on our team. Through the 90-day blitz, Kay and I are dialing at 10 o'clock at night if anybody ever wants to join us. I mean, it is full throttle. So if you want to be on a team, this is where you should be. And that's what a team is. It's being there for everybody. It's being there on the good days, the bad days, and keeping focus and knowing that it's not going to be easy, but if it was easy, everybody would do it. So on to you, Kay.
Thank you. That was awesome, Wendy and Shawn. My name's Kay Schweizer. I'm Director Shawn Cochran in the John Paul Vetter Agency and Marshall Whalen Hierarchy. I'm really, really grateful and so honored to be on the call today. I've been with Symmetry for about 16 months, and my journey has been kind of slow, but I'm at peace with that. I'm a slow Midwesterner. But I just wanted to start off this topic of connection with a quote from the book Daring Greatly by Brene Brown, which is in my top 2. I absolutely loved it. But she says, quote, "We're hardwired for connection. It's what gives purpose and meaning to our lives." And I thought that was really powerful. And I thought about our culture here and the idea of reaching up and reaching out to people in this business and how absolutely necessary that is in order to learn and to grow, but also because it gives us our purpose. Reaching out, reaching up, I mean, you could form possibly lifelong friendships, maybe not, but it's essential. It's essential to the meaning of our lives. So, you know, Shawn's my mentor, and he has spent countless hours with me, not only teaching me about the business, but also learning more about me as a person, like who I am, what I value, my family, where I live, our family dynamics, our hobbies. And it's really, really special because it is such a genuine connection. And, you know, there are a lot of really great people here at Symmetry who are willing to help if we're brave enough to ask. And being brave to me, for me, really just means putting my ego aside, getting humble, and asking for help. So the past couple of months, I kind of made it my weekly mission to reach out to someone that I admire, either folks in the veteran agency or sometimes even outside. And of course, that wasn't comfortable at all. I felt like I was bothering them, and they're so successful. And here I am asking silly questions, or maybe they think I'm trying to steal their trade secrets. But the relationships have helped me so much professionally and personally. And, you know, people like to share what works. I mean, it's flattering when you get that phone call or that text. So just a couple of examples of this. I really struggle and still do with IUF. And believe me, that took an army to help me understand them. I reached out to Sylvia, to Justin, to Adrian, and they're just so helpful and took the time to explain it. And I'm just incredibly grateful for that. I did finally write one, and so thank you. Jenny Gray, I've reached out to her for a lot of things, but I felt like I followed her around like a puppy when she started working Razor Ridge leads. So, I mean, she helped with the script and how to do it and the 95%. And it was, I just really value that friendship. Earlier this summer, I was getting very intentional about my numbers. And, you know, I was looking at my dials and the number of appointments that I set and my sit ratio. And then I looked at my close ratio, and it was just so embarrassingly low. So I reached out to Joanna, and she helped me. She helped me with my script. She helped me by role playing. And my script just looks so much different than it used to. And then also Aubrey McPherson. Oh my gosh. She's over there recruiting, and she has a gajillion interviews a week. And, you know, I reached out to her, and she helped me. And she's like, call me anytime. You know, it was other people's help that got me here. She helped me with Career Builder. And there are dozens of others, but I just can't tell you how grateful I am for that. So also this summer, towards the end of the summer, you know, we decided to do a 90-day blitz, and I got really brave, and I reached out to Ashley Richard on Facebook, and I messaged her, and I told her, I said, I made it a commitment to myself that I was going to reach out to people that I admire, and you're picked for this week. And can you tell me about what your schedule was during, you know, earlier part of this year for her 90 days? And she responded. And it really doesn't, you know, I mean, it's okay if she didn't respond. It's all okay, but she did. She took the time out, and we messaged back and forth for a couple conversations. And then I got super brave and I reached out to Sarah Reineke on Facebook. And gosh, that's like reaching out to Taylor Swift. I mean, she's a rock star. And she responded and she was helpful. And when I did that, I thought, you know, did I feel worthy that I could reach out to Sarah Reineke? And no, I really didn't. I didn't feel worthy of that. But I am. I have come to realize that I am worthy of that. That I am enough. And it's taken me a long time to say that, but I am enough. And you are too. You are enough. And if you don't believe that, say it to yourself every single day. Say right now, I am enough, because you are. So one more thing about Shawn. He asked me a great question yesterday, and I've been thinking about it for the past 24 hours. He said to me, what keeps you here? And it's hope. Hope keeps me here. And in the book, The Power of One More by Ed Milet, that was a great book too. But the last chapter was pure fire. And he says, his quote was, say this to yourself. Just for today, I won't quit. I may quit next week. I may quit next month. I may quit next year. But just for today, I won't quit. So when things go dark with my business, relationships, marriages, kids, we all have it, checkbooks, we all have it. They go dark. Say that to yourself. Sometimes I say it with clenched teeth, tears in my eyes, and 5 F-bombs. But just for today, I won't quit. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you, and I'm going to turn it over to Lewis.
Thank you, Kay. Can you hear me okay?
Gotcha, buddy.
All right. Yes, hi, everyone. As I never talk in the meetings, let me just make a short introduction of myself. I started with Symmetry earlier this year. I'm an electrical engineer that comes from the corporate world. But being laid off some time ago pushed me to look at other things, and that is how I landed in insurance. So in the process, I talked to Kay and 2 other groups that do life, non-symmetry, I mean different groups. But I like the values the symmetry is based on, and how, family is the center of how they operate. Family and the person first, money comes eventually. So, and I also felt very comfortable talking to Kay. I mean, she's so nice and authentic. I mean, just thank you, Kay, for I'm really glad that I found you, and I ended up talking to you, and ended up here. So yeah, that's that. Enough about me. So just want to talk to you about one thing real quick. So a few weeks back, me and my wife were at a health expo in a desert town near our home, which is El Paso, Texas. And we had the brilliant idea of posting it in Crew, but we posted a photo on it. Unfortunately, that brought someone's attention, and that is how I ended up here, talking to you about community advertising. Just like Shawn, I mean, I'm not quite fond of speaking in public, but yeah, here I am trying my best. So community advertising. Basically participating in community events to connect with people. So just talk about that. I mean, what has happened really in relation to that. I mean, the first expo that we attended was a local TV station event called Expo Familia, and that was at a local mall. where we started, basically, that's when we started connecting. We met Erica, a rep from the Texas A&M University, that was coordinating a series of family health expo events in nearby small towns and communities. We also met the mall manager, who invited us to an open house she had the following weekend. So we, got together with her, and there we were able to talk to people about mortgage protection. So for that first event at the mall, we made had to make some initial investment of the basics to set up, such as a tablecloth, giveaway treats, and we also threw a drawing for a prize. So out of that, we collected about 200 names, and we put in a calling, texting, email campaign. So far, we've written a couple of them, and we keep them in the campaigns for sure. Now, after that, we've attended 4 more events, which I can see pictures of on the screen. We went to a couple neighboring towns, and we're also looking at attending events in the schools. My daughter is a teacher, and she's my contact for that. So we're looking forward to be there and talking to teachers and parents. So basically, it is about networking in your community, which brings you close to families in need of the protection that we can provide. These events have also helped us educate people on the many benefits a life policy involves and the different types of protection they will get. We have been able to answer many, many questions. So we plan to continue participating in these community events to connect and help more people, along with calling people out of our switchboard or leads that we get from Symmetric. So that's basically it. Those was what I wanted to mention to you, everybody. Thank you.
Awesome. Do you have any closing comments, Shawn? I'm going to pass it back to you one more time here before you adjourn.
The only thing I'll say is that just so proud, so amazing. The one thing I'll say, the only thing I really didn't say on my notes, I was looking at them afterwards, I did mention it, but we all have it, find your superpower. It's there. Mine, I'm better at helping other people than I am myself, but that's my superpower because I nurture. I like being able to do it. Find yours and then start building on that and move yourself forward. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak today and me getting through it. My hands are drying out now. Thank you.
You guys crushed it. You guys did such a great job. And I appreciate you sticking on and going just a little over with us, but just outstanding job, Shawn, Kay, Wendy, and to Luis. Just appreciate you so much and what you're doing with your teams, and so many great takeaways for everyone else on the call for sure. And just a quick point to Luis's activities. Those are things you all can do in your own community, right? Your church or events. Be resourceful. Find other ways to generate opportunities to protect folks in your community, for you to do things that aren't necessarily just leads or switchboard. Those are fundamental parts of what we do, but you can do all these other things and activities to think outside the box. You are a business owner. It's your business. Run it as such and share these ideas. Find ways. Get on the internet and find other things you can get into and do that have minimal or no cost for you to generate opportunities for yourself, your team, and folks in your community. So thanks again so much. Yes.
I just want to mention the chamber. I forgot to mention that. So as a business owner at home, for about $125 for the year, you can sign up as a business at home as the chamber. So then you can start advertising your business on your local chamber on their Facebook page for $125 a year. So, it might be a little different in different communities, but it's something just to get on. If you get one thing a month, it's worth paying that $125 a year.
Yeah, no doubt. And just one little caveat, and I love it. Wendy was saying they're calling at 10 o'clock at night. let's be sure they're calling West Coast leads if they're in Central or Eastern time zone. We don't want folks calling East
Oh,
Coast
the
leads.
West Coast, you know they don't sleep.
But great stuff. I mean, just what a great call. I mean, I love you all and just so proud of each and every one of you. Remember, we got Miss Jenny Gray, the Crawfish Queen, coming up right after this call on the Ask the Expert class. And then listen, go out and make a difference in the lives of folks and keep chopping wood every day, building your dreams. And we appreciate you, love you, and have a great weekend and a great week. And let's keep after it. Appreciate it.